ॐ ॐ सहनाववतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै ॐ शान्तिः 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 ॐ गुरुर्ब्रह्मा गुरुर्विष्णुः गुरुर्देवो महेश्वरः गुरु साक्षात् परं ब्रह्म तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः. Let us salute the Lord, the Guru Parampara. And before our study of Upanishad, like every day, today also one theme on the Shakti series. Today's Shakti is very familiar to all of us. Little discussion on that for a couple of minutes. Today's Shakti is the Upavaasa Shakti, the power of fasting. Power of fasting. We all know only one thing, the power of feasting. But there is a power and variety of powers that are there. Certainly, we will gain with this fasting. So, power of feasting, power of fasting. In our general life, we don't even think about the need of this one out of either anxiety or fear or insecurity. We keep on engaging ourselves in feasting only of all aspects, especially after 1970s 60s, because up to 47 we were under the Britishers rule. Up to 60, 65, 70, they took time for us to start the industries and all. Then the productivity started. From then onwards, as if taking badala of the earlier poverty, we started becoming heavily highly consuming people, consumers. Not only the entire world, not only India, सब जगह पे ऐसे हुआ हो गया. Then it came to such a situation now that we think the life means only consumption, consumption, consumption. That also of this sthula vishayas. But there are very many other things. Nowadays, in all medical fields of the entire world, one of the best medication they are suggesting, unequivocal terms, is the medication of fasting, which we were taught long back. Any problem physiological comes up, 2 दिन खाना बंद कर सब ठीक हो जाता है. और वो होता भी है. So such very beautiful power is there in the fasting. Now here when I talk about feast or fast, please remember, not only the food taken through the mouth into the stomach, but it is the perception of all the 5 objects through all the sense organs. And also the fasting of the mind, called as for a day or two, absolutely not allowing the mind to entertain any anxieties, any worries, any tensions, any thoughts, even any projects also. No emotions at the mind level, at the intellectual, all this. इस सबका fasting की बात हम कर रहे हैं. Once in a while. So else what happens? We only go on involving with so much of rajoguna. We get exhausted, tired, fatigued, and what we get is very minimal things of the world. So therefore, in all these aspects, the fasting for the stomach from the food, the fasting of all the indriyas from the indriya vishayas, the fasting for the eye is what? Once in a week, one day a week, it's a half day. Don't look at any of the TV, cell phone. That is the fasting for the eye. For the ears also, once in a week, just plug it them. Don't yield it to any of the listenings. At least for half a day, once in a week, like that. So too, for the tongue, the fasting for a week is what? Don't give it all the tasty food of namak and mithai. उसको just दो दवा के रूप में जाना है अंदर भोजन, that much only we give. Is it not? For the mind, the fasting is for 1 week is what? No emotions, both of the attachments and love, as well as the negative emotion of hatred, etc. थोड़ा फास्ट करो, डिसाइड करो, ए हफ्ता में किसी से प्यार नहीं करूंगा, किसी को द्वेष नहीं करूंगा. Intellectual fasting is what? Unnecessary inquiring and trying to know about everything. Fasting, एक दिन 1 घंटा आधा दिन करो. Same thing through the TV. We want to know everything. अब यूक्रेन में क्या हो रहा है, रशिया यूक्रेन कितना अभी युद्ध कर रहा है कि नहीं, what's the position, and what is the electional results in all the five states, how it would be the scenario. At one level, you anyway do it, but once in a week, we are saying, various, so million things are happening in the world every moment, and every time when they're happening, they appear to be so important. But within a short span of 1 or 2 days, there's no value at all. Philosophically, I'm saying, spiritually. I'm just telling this to give an answer to a question. How can we be Swami without knowing? I'm not telling don't know every day. I'm telling सिर्फ एक दिन fasting करना. And कुछ कुछ चीज़ है ना which we have to permanently fasting only at the intellectual level, because they create only fears and agitations. If you have a responsibility, you are involving person there, then you know it and detailedly work about it. कोई पावर नहीं है हमारा, कोई पोजीशन नहीं है, हमें कोई ज़रूरत नहीं है। हर एक चीज़ जानने की ज़रूरत नहीं है हमको, हम छोटे बच्चे हैं। Small, I'll tell you one thing, we are small jiva, came with our prarabdha into this body to work it out. Such a huge universe and happenings of that, how can we be concerned? We should pray for the universal betterment. And our contribution to the universe is our own dharma. More than that, the more we think, the more we are worried, anxious about it. Even if you want to think no about the Lord, you know it, His permeation, His glory, greatness. Don't try to know the happenings of the world too much. Awareness की बात एक जगह करते हैं, but know about those things and only try to know them only when you know that, when you are confident that we can balance it. We don't allow that knowledge to misguide us. We don't create any biasness in us. वो कैपेसिटी है तो आप सब सीखो, सब देखो. जैसे मैं देखता हूँ कभी, why do I see? Just to see what's happening in the world, how the tamasha of the world is going on, and how it becomes valuable when I give value. When I don't give value, it is no value at all. More also, what is its consequence in a spiritual sadhana? It should give vairagya only. In that way, you can see. In the beginning, we watch, we see to get vairagya. Once vairagya comes, what is the need of seeing? I'm talking about the intellectual fasting. So, बुद्धि को फास्टिंग देना, मन को फास्टिंग देना, पांच इंद्रियों को फास्टिंग देना है, even to कर्मेंद्रियास once in a while, fasting, even prana shakti. What will happen when you do is 5, 6 things happen. First of all, the tiredness, exhaustion which was happening because of excessive indulgence, that is curtailed and restricted. Is it not? First benefit is that. Like when you give fasting to stomach, that entire work which is stomach is doing bechara of both digestion, then sending everywhere, division, ये सारा थोड़ा उसको आराम मिलेगा भाई, दो उसको. In fact, after evening 7, should not eat till morning, so that whatever is left out, the stomach digests and it gets its rest from night 11 to morning 5 o'clock. 7 finish eating, 7 to 10 it will take time to digest, 10 to morning 5, 6, that should not be given any work. उसको छुट्टी देना. हम क्या करते हैं, 10 बजे उठ के खाएं, 12 को उठ के खाएं, 2 को उठ के खाएं, 4 को खाकर उठे. अब देखो, that's how all the indecision problems come at the very young age. Every of the instruments of ours, when they give away, the reason is they are excessively overly used. We have to be very conscious. So to context, actually subtle level में आपका पुण्य सारा आप 50-40 साल के अंदर यूज किए, तो उसके बाद पुण्य नहीं रहेगा. Then you remain as a lonely, like a money salary. Entire salary of month, 20 days you spend it, 10 days you are without money. ऐसा ही होता है. I'm just telling that, not an important topic today, some other day we discuss. But here, first benefit of fasting is that too much of exhaustion, tiredness that goes on. Second is what, as we just now said, the corollary of the first point only, all these inner equipments get some time to relax, to recharge themselves, to recoup themselves, which we have to give to all indriyas also and to the entire sthula sharira also. एक्सेसिव वर्क रुक जाएगा, एक्सेसिव वर्क निकल जाएगा और थोड़ा उसको आराम मिलेगा. जो भी पेंडिंग वर्क्स है वो करने का मौका मिलता है, स्पेशली फॉर द बॉडी स्टमक. You know, all the fats that are deposited, they get melted when you do the fasting. Any other things which are toxins are there, they go away, they say. ये है स्थूल बेनिफिट्स. लिटिल स्पिरिचुअल डिवोशनल बेनिफिट्स क्या है कि ओनली व्हेन वी डू द फास्टिंग्स देन वी विल नो द इम्पोर्टेंस ऑफ दीज थिंग्स which are given to us by the Lord, both for our survival, for our entertainment, for our enjoyment. नहीं तो नहीं पता चलता इन चीजों का वैल्यू. फास्टिंग करो तब पता चलता है ना. जब फास्ट करो तब भूख की वैल्यू और खाने का वैल्यू पता चलता है. देन ओनली वी नो द वैल्यू ऑफ द प्रकृति एंड द लॉर्ड थ्रू प्रकृति वन हु इज गिविंग all these consumable things to us. His glory, his greatness we know, and we will understand the greatness of prakriti, and we will understand the value and importance of all these things only when we fast, including all the people who are working, whether they are devatas or the human beings, who are working tirelessly in creating all these things, manufacturing all these things for our sake, उनका वैल्यू जो है ना तभी पता चलेगा. This is a second track of benefits with the fasting. That is the Shakti. Third one is very crucial. थोड़ा क्या है ना कि we learn to live with less dependency on these things. तो दिन में 5 बार खाने वाले को 2 बार खाना नहीं मिला तो दुखी हो जाता है. दैट्स एन आदत. 5 बार खाना. और जो दिन में 2 बार ही खा रहा है वो कभी कभी नहीं मिला तो भी यू विल बी एबल टू मेंटेन सस्टेन. सेम में 24 घंटे टीवी देख रहा है, 1 घंटा नहीं मिला तो तड़पेगा वो. जो फास्टिंग का आदत हो गया वो कहते हैं 3-4 दिन आई एम ऑन द बिजनेस वर्क, आई हैव नॉट इवन लुक्ड एट माय सेल फोन मैसेज आल्सो. इज बिजी इन द वर्क. The dependency gets reduced on all these things when we do the fasting. This is very, very essential. Next thing is what? We learn to live from the gross dependency to the subtler level. And I can tell many things. एक बात मैं बताता हूँ कि with this type of practices, we can come to a level of one day, one time eating that should be enough in that way. खासकर भोजन की बात कह रहा हूँ. So to the fasting of Nidra, 10 hours it is an adat, 8 hours it is an adat, 3 hours it is too less, 4 to 5 hours is correct one. When we this way learn the art of fasting by which we enter from the sthula to the sukshma, and mainly from spiritual standpoint, we have to become subtler and subtler only, not the grosser. The more we depend on the groceries, that's why it's called groceries. It is never said subtleries. The more you are in those gross things, gross continuously change and they give more dukkha to us. Is it not only when we withdraw from our all these sense objects, etc., our senses, that we'll be able to become subtler in our inquiries, in our thinkings, in our understandings about the higher truths and realities? अब इसी में फंसे रहोगे, न टाइम होगा, न जरूरत महसूस होगा, न एनर्जी होगा, न प्रयत्न होगा, न फल होगा. क्या कि सूक्ष्म बनने के लिए. At one level, the Mahayogis, many of them, only the inhaling, exhaling only they live. At a higher level, even they do a sankalpa for next 5 years, I am in samadhi, I will not do even inhale, exhale. So they reach to the level of living at sankalpa level. संकल्प के कारण ही वो अपने देह को रोक के रखते हैं बिना इवन हवा का आवाजाही. The Mahayogis who are in samadhi, inhaling, exhaling also not happening, but the body is intact. कैसा हो रहा है? They are living at that level. Then we studied in Bhagavad, if I talk all of that, it becomes very lengthy and exhaustive. That in this way, when we become subtler and master even the subtler things, we get such a subtle siddhis by which so many things can be accomplished. स्थूल का फास्टिंग करने मात्र से ही हम सूक्ष्म में प्रवेश कर सकते हैं, अन्यथा नहीं. And Sthula, how much to involve or indulge is in our own choice and hands. If we maintain the minimum for survival and enter into Sukshma, we are highly matured. Never ever concerned about Sukshmata, always in Sthula, then we are Parama Samsari, Parama Murkha only we can talk. So, the power of fasting, the Upavaasa Shakti, I call it. So, Bhojana Upavaasa gives us the value of bhojanam, and the giver of the bhojanam called a lord, including the people who cook, etc. And then Upavasa inside gives a stamina to withstand the hunger, etc. for some time. Then Upavasa makes the body recoup itself. All the toxins, everything go away. We become lighter. Is it not? So too with all the indriyas. When we do Upavasa, the most important Shakti of being independent we learn. If that is not done, we will become so dependent कि हम उसके बिना जी नहीं सकते, ऐसे भावना में चले जाते. Actually, as a human being, we should be able to live with everything also, without anything else. Minimum. We can't say totally in the beginning only without anything, but minimum. Every way. I should be all alone without any people. I should be all alone without any entertainments. I should be all alone with minimum food required for survival without the worry of any taste, etc. Is it not? That is the real independence, no? First to gain that. Thereafter, live in the world to serve the world. That's a different contribution and joy. But not this one where for every small little thing we depend on the grossest things and beings and we don't get the supply of it. So much we suffer. Upavasa is a big word. I have used it for the exhaustive ways. Will help us in so many gains in this way. आप प्लान कर लो फिर. इज इट नॉट एक दिन ये उपवास करूंगा, दूसरा दिन ये उपवास, तीसरा दिन ये उपवास. मरने वाला नहीं हम जरूर. जब मरण आएगा तभी मरेंगे, तब तक कुछ भी करो नहीं मरेंगे. ज्यादा एक्सट्रीम में मत जाना कि कुछ हो जाएगा ऐसा करके. और सब फियर है तो यू कांट डू इन स्मॉल साधना आल्सो. स्मॉल लिटिल क्वांटिटीज ओनली स्टार्ट डूइंग द परहेज. खाने के स्थल पे ऑयल का परहेज एक हफ्ते के लिए, मिठाई का एक हफ्ते के, नमक एक हफ्ते के लिए, इस तरह से. Is it not? Whatever it is, you don't learn to be independent. It is helping the spirituality, it is helping the mind for being independent, it is helping the system also, it is helping the outer world also. Like a glutton and buffalo, I am consuming, that is the cost of living also is growing. एक रोटी कम खाया मैं तो एक रोटी पैदा ही किया ना इस दुनिया में. That's what is. That's how we can do. When we can do, if you do, we'll do if we try to do. Definitely it can be done. So the Upavasa Shakti. One of the most Upavasa Shakti which we have not discussed much is Upavasa of the speech. The more we talk, all our power goes away. I'm telling my own experience. I talk to some people so much that they have no value at all for me now. Absolutely no value. I can feel it so conspicuously. And there are some people who do the Upavasa of the speech. People are waiting to listen to them. Value of the speech grows when we do the Upavasa of the Shabda. This Shabda Rashi is different. It is Satsangam. It is anyway about Bhagwan. It is all Antar Chintanam, Antar Mananam, our own Adhyatmika Shastra Adhyanam. This will go on, the Swadhyaya Pravachanabhyam, na Prabhatavyam. This will never cause harm. The other things of talking and all that, Upavas. In your own house, do the Upavasa of unnecessary educating your children for 2-3 days. Shanti will come first of all. Then slowly they start valuing you. By talking, whatever values, that also goes away. Children say, Mummy, Papa, Kandandane, ऐसे बकते रहते हैं. They say also, we lost the value. So, Upavasa of the speech. That doesn't mean become a moody and moony and don't talk and keep a frowning face. No, no, no. Talk minimum, that also lovingly to the extent required. That's it. That's how we command respect also from people. Any gathering में too much talkative person को mic देता ही नहीं, जो very कम उसको दे देते. And these are all maturities will come in each life. One or two only will come. I didn't get this maturity in this life. Maybe in this next life I'll be so quiet and gambhira that even if you wait for me for 1 year, I'll not meet you. Get lost because you don't have value for me in this life. But we have to develop in each life. Little only we learn. On the whole, fasting with all the senses, conserve your energies, conserve your timings, protect your own independence. Even in that, as a byproduct, help the world also. Then become subtler from the gross. So many benefits by having this Upavasa Vrata. Is it not? And final Upavasa is what? Upa means Samipe, Vasa means to stay. To stay very near. And whom? To the Lord. What is Lord? Subtler than the subtlest. When we have to stay to near the Lord, the subtler than the subtlest, there's no way than to give up all the gross. Highest Upavasa is meditation, in which you are uniting with the absolute truth, Paramatma. And why do we call it Upavasa? Because other than Paramatma, of everything else, we have withdrawn from. So Upavasa ho gaya wo. Then only you will experience Lord. Like we just saw half an hour back in Narayana Upanishad. See Narayana Sukta. When it was said, it was Upavasa only. Tasya madhyeva nishikani yordhave vastitha nilatoya madhyasthat vidyuleka bhaskara. While teaching that one, he is taking us deep into the self, in which we are withdrawing from our indulgence in the gross, which is called Upavasa. So, Upavasa Shakti, power of fasting, karke dekho. Even wife and husband also. For some time, they don't talk 2 3 days, then there'll be some love growing. Then they can exchange the ideas and make life little more beautiful for little more longer time everywhere. And don't do that Upavasa of talking out of arrogance, out of ego, and all that the funny them. That's all you are going in wrong track without your knowledge. Your prarabdha is not good. You have not prayed properly. You're not matured. Semi-matured, pseudo-matured. Clear? Upavasa Shakti is a good thought, a unique one. I just got it on the dais only, shared with you. Thank you. Don't ask me. So